Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
So lovely, so I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where Asian people are finally realizing that this affirmative action, removal did not only, benefit pan-colored people, it keep on benefiting pan-colored people till date. And I was just able to put up some of those stages because like this MIT result or race that is being released, and it found out that the real people that this affirmative action was benefiting was actually the real people that Black people have been talking about. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
I'm starting to get a better understanding as how them white folks got us back in the day. Because why did MSNBC, Fox News just do an entire segment on how, the abolishment of affirmative action is causing so many setbacks for people of color. The doors getting slammed in their face. Baby, we're not knocking. We're not knocking. Have you not checked HBCU enrollment rates? The shit's popping over there. The party is jumping. Do you hear me? The roof is on motherfucking fire. Them niggas is having the time of their life right now. Not concerned about MIT or what the fuck going on over there. Who the hell wants to wake up to racism over bacon every morning? Huh? Y'all banging or gang banging at breakfast time? Ain't nobody trying to wake up to that. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody wants to deal with that. I'm not sure why y'all keep trying to spin this propaganda narrative, but it's honestly starting to make sense as how y'all was able to trick our people into believing that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't sit with us. We don't want to. Because the seat's dirty anyways. It's more than likely used, and you're more than likely selling a dream. We're good, honestly. It feels like you're begging us to come and like want to be a part of it. And it's like, gang, we don't want to. Like, we're good. I don't know any other way that we can say that we're good other than to just keep reiterating, like, we're good. You don't have to do none of these reports about how, oh my God, the black population of MIT is under 5% due to the lifting of affirmative action. Is that the reason why? Or did we just stop applying? Can we see the applicant rates? Because from what they said in the tone of it, they said applicants, right? But the information they were showing us was more so the actively enrolled students. And for those of y'all that don't know, the difference between an applicant and an enrolled student is literally that. It being enrolled. An active student. She said that a lot of us aren't applicants, right? Which means that we're not applying. You'd have to apply to enroll, baby. I'm not sure why you're showing us data from your active enrollments when we're not applying. That means that we're not knocking because we don't want to come. We're good. Thank you, but we're good. We're good. Thanks, bye.
Let's yap about how Asian Americans are still fucking up affirmative action, despite what this comment says. In particular, we're going to be talking about how the case of affirmative action in the Supreme Court is being brought up again because some colleges are now in the process of releasing their class of 2028 admission statistics. Spoiler alert, it's bad. It's really bad. It's really not good. Who knew that when you took away a court case that was specifically dedicated to providing equitable opportunities for historically marginalized communities within education, there would be less marginalized communities within education? Isn't that shocking and so unpredictable? We're going to start specifically by talking about the recent report that MIT released for its class of 2028, specifically in regards to their admission statistics. A lot of you actually do follow me because of my video on affirmative action, aka my thesis on how Asian Americans fucked up affirmative action. And as a result, I've been getting a lot of messages like this one and in my DMs talking about how, oh, your video is actually wrong, so you should take it down. You'll see on my profile that when I yap with my chest, which means that if I said something, that means that I mean it, and I know it to be true, not just because of educational sources, but because of my own experiences. Which is why I still stand by the fact that Asian Americans did fuck up affirmative action and aren't even benefiting from it. So, as I was saying before, MIT recently released its statistics for the class of 2028, and the results are pretty grim, despite what people may say. The particularly jarring statistics that came out from this was the fact that Hispanic student enrollment actually dropped from 15% to 11%, and Black student enrollment dropped from 13% to 5%. And what this person is talking about in particular is that Asian Americans, interestingly enough, their student enrollment went up from 40% to 47%. I'm going to say that this next part that I talk about is going to be mainly my opinion mixed in with statistics and the fact that I'm able to make an argument based off of those statistics. I have every right to say what I want about the community that I've been identifying with for my entire life. Number one, Asian Americans are a huge demographic, and I have a problem with this, and I continue to have a problem with this. When you say Asian American within college statistics and admissions, they don't mean everyone. They definitely do not mean everyone. I personally hate the fact that I am lumped in with other cultures, nationalities, ethnicities that, number one, have absolutely nothing to do with me, number two, have absolutely no culture with me whatsoever, and number three, are countries that probably have colonized me, and therefore we will never historically have the same background or same opportunities because of where I come from as a Filipino. And so I often feel like when people outside of the Asian American community talk about Asian American experiences, they're not talking about Southeast Asian American experiences. They're not talking about South Asian American experiences. They're talking about East Asian American experiences. And everyone in the Asian American community can tell you they are not similar in the slightest whatsoever. Because unlike most of us, East Asians are, for some reason, now desired in a way that Southeast and South Asians never have been and probably won't be for a very, very long time. And I mean that in multiple ways. Academically, physically, culturally, you name it. And so when I first read this MIT report, I knew that in the back of my mind that they didn't mean Asian Americans. You can look at any photo, any demographic. It's not Asia. It's East Asia. Number two, MIT is a tech school. It is true that a majority of Asian Americans do go into tech. It's what a lot of our parents under the H-1B visa came into the United States for, aka IT, and at the same time, it's a financially stable job and field to be in. You can make money in tech, and to a lot of immigrant communities, obviously that's important. And so, of course, if you are a tech school, you are going to have a lot of Asian American applicants because historically, we just go into STEM more often. Now, if you're still watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, Sophia, but that doesn't matter. Your feelings don't matter when it comes to statistics. Asian Americans still won in this case no matter what you say. Okay, fine. So then let's go back to the statistics. Yale's Asian American demographic for the class of 2028 went down 6 points from 30% to 24%. Duke's Asian American demographic went down 6 points to 29%. Now, these are only some of the schools that have released their class of 2028 statistics, and a lot of these reports are still going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. But even taking out Asian Americans entirely out of this equation, it is so inherently obvious that the lack of affirmative action is making every other person of color suffer. Black student enrollment is down. Hispanic student enrollment is down. Pacific Islander student enrollment is down. Indigenous student enrollment is down. Everything is not looking good. And the only community that is not suffering because there isn't affirmative action anymore is white people. It's the white student community. That's it. This means that a small elitist part of the Asian American community bandwagoned with a white man to step on and destroy futures of every other person of color living in the United States. It's pathetic. It's actually so fucking pathetic. It's a disgrace to Asian American students who actually support affirmative action. It's a disgrace to the Black activists that work to get affirmative action there in the first place to ensure that future generations of students would have equitable access to education. And it's a disgrace to literally every person of color within the US that wants to go to college. Because again, the only community that does not suffer from affirmative action and is not affected in the slightest is white people. And so as more reports come out, and if you are of that party that thinks, oh, affirmative action was discriminatory against Asian Americans, number one, I want you to think about which Asian Americans you are talking about. Who do you imagine and who do you envision to be actually Asian American? And then number two, I want you to ask yourself if it was worth it. If it was worth it to watch everyone else suffer because some little Asian boy wanted to get into a tech school. And to that one person, that one student who is watching that is a minority, that is a part of a marginalized community, I want you to understand that these schools do not make or break your future. It is not your fault that you feel like you don't deserve to be in elitist spaces, that you deserve to be in spaces that prioritize higher education for people like us. And most importantly, understand that opportunity and community is everywhere and not just in these elitist schools. You will go far because you made it this far. Let me be living proof for you. I graduated in 3 years in the midst of a pandemic. I have a stable job in the city that I love and I'm able to financially support myself. And I am applying to law school this year with the help of a fellowship that supports specifically underrepresented students. And I did it without having an Ivy League degree. There is space for you. Generations before us made sure of it. Do not let the loud, whiny people who do not believe in equity get you down. They are not our future. You are.
I just want to point something out real quick about these affirmative action outcomes, this decline in the Asian American student population at some of these elite universities. What's being reported is that Asian American enrollment dropped to 29% from 35% at Duke, 24% to 30% from 30% at Yale, and to 23.8% from 26% at Princeton. While Black enrollment mostly stayed the same, there was a rise to 13% from 12% at Duke. It stayed 14% at Yale and dropped to 8.9% from 9% at Princeton. I feel like we need to consider that in contrast to the population sizes of these communities, where the percentage of the Black student body is consistent with the percentage of Black Americans in the nation, whereas the Asian student body population is represented at 4 times the rate of the national average, even with the decline in the population since the repeal of affirmative action. And I know that some of these numbers are not necessarily taking into account foreign students, both in Asian and Black student population. If anything, from what these numbers suggest, the Black student population wasn't benefiting meaningfully in any way from affirmative action policy. And the communities that were are feeling the recoil from the shift in policy. And, you know, this just really speaks to the fact that it's really easy to point the finger at other minorities you feel like are less deserving than you than it is to really point out the fact that you're being fucked over by your oppressor. Especially when your aspiration is to be in their position instead of creating equity.
Like, seriously, lovelies, it's actually think when something is, you know, going wrong or going north, that is when people will realize that, oh, this thing that these people are actually saying, they are saying the truth. Okay, let us all refresh back to when this affirmative action, you know, was a thing. That's about last year, November to October. Okay, October to November. You know, it all began. Everybody knows the story of how this affirmative action and how they eventually removed affirmative action from, you know, all these schools, the Ivy schools most especially, where this Asian, you know, guy got admitted, was not able to get admission upon getting the scores, like getting the cut-off mark, and he was so, you know, pissed to the fact that he was supposed to actually get admitted into these Ivy schools. Maybe because there are a lot of people that looks like me that got admitted into these schools, and because of that, he was not able to get slot into the schools. And that was how affirmative action was fought through thick and nail. And eventually, with the help of some other people and some pan-colored people connived, and they decided that they were going to remove affirmative action, even if black people were actually telling them that this thing that you guys think that it benefit us does not really benefit us. You guys are just black people were trying to tell them that affirmative action did not really benefit. It benefit pan-colored people and all of that, but they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen because they thought that, oh, people that looks like me are so not intelligent, so how come that you are opportune to be in this kind of school? You're meant to be in some set type of school. So this school is actually meant for people that is very intelligent. So, but because of affirmative action, you guys are just getting into the school. You guys are not equal to us. Like, we are not in the same shoes or in the same boat. So segregation. And with the help and all of the things, this affirmative action of a thing was removed. And some Asian people thinks that, oh, because of that, this is when we are going to get admitted into the schools, without them realizing that affirmative action favors pan-colored people. But as it is, this is a normal thing. That are always the ones that is being used against people that looks like me. Affirmative action was strict out, and I think sometime February, March, a lot of Asian parents came out to yell about how admission, the way at which these people, their student or their children get admitted into Ivy schools, drastically reduced compared to when affirmative action was there. That was the beginning of what they were intended, like what black people have been trying to tell them. An article was all over this social platform, which I think I posted. I stitched to the said article, claiming that Asian parents are so angry to the fact that the way at which this affirmative action, it affects their own people, especially their own student, is something not to write home about. And now, not only do affirmative action removal benefit pan-colored people the most, it's not benefiting Asian people, even if it's not benefiting people that looks like me. I think that people that looks like me is just so tired with the way and sees, with all of this, way and sees thing that is involved in Ivy schools. That's why they are not, okay, let's just look for something else. There are other, schools that you can just enroll your kids without all of these way and sees and all of that. That's why that is as if it's looking like black people, their percentage are getting lower and lower and lower. And now they're all here talking about how, the results, the race, we told you guys, it's not about that. Let's even talk about the populations, calculating with the populations. Why is it that upon everything that was told, upon all of the warning signs, why is it that it's only when the things have drastically, gotten to a point whereby nothing can be done, that is why everyone will say, oh, black people actually told us this. We were told this. Oh, they were so right. But when these people were telling you guys, you were like so reluctant to see if, they are probably benefited. This is why they are all here talking about how they don't benefit. If they don't benefit from them, so from it, why are they all here yelling from it? And now this is it. This is the outcome of not listening. This is the outcome of trying to, you are thinking that you are one of some people that does not even, want you to be one of them. Like, seriously, this thing with PRC and black people is just something that they always want to. They always want people that look like me to keep on doing things for them. But anytime they see that there is a little bit of something to be done for people that looks like me, they become so like they don't want it. They just want it. It's just giving selfish. Seriously, If it does not benefit them, then it shouldn't benefit you. And even if it's benefiting you, it shouldn't even benefit you because you don't deserve to be benefited. This also reminds me of what has been going on with power people and black people. I have posted so many stitches here, but they have this mentality of, you as a black person, you need to keep on fighting for these people, doing everything for these people, neglecting your own needs, your own self. We don't care what you go through. We don't care if you are oppressed or not. We don't care about your story. You just have to keep on, doing things for us. If it has to do with something that will benefit, people that looks like me a little bit, this is when stories will come. I don't know, maybe they are seeing people that looks like me as, oh, you don't deserve good thing, or you don't deserve anything good. You just need to keep on being oppressed and all of that. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. If you've not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, please do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like this video, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.
Up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here to educate and inform ourselves. All right, lovelies, please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.